Hello students, I am Swati Kedar. In today's C# session, we are going to see one more C# practice program that is on the constructors. You already learned about the constructor in theory class. Varsha ma'am also already told you in C# theory class in session 34. And you see here constructors. C# supports a special type of a method called the constructor that enables an object to initialize itself when it is created. After that, constructor have the same name as class itself. Means constructor name and class name have to give the same. They do not specify a return type, not even void. By default, constructors are public, but they can also be declared as a private or protected. This is the constructor. After that, overloaded constructors. In C# it is possible to create methods that have the same name but different parameter list and different definitions. Means the method have the same name but we have to take the different parameters and definitions. Method overloading can be used when objects are required to perform similar tasks but using the different parameters. Similarly, we can create overloaded constructor method by providing several different constructor definitions with the different parameter list. This is the overloaded constructor. And this program execution we are going to see in two ways. The first way in Visual Studio. The second way we type the program in Notepad and execute on developer command prompt. So let's start with the first way. In Visual Studio, I have already created here one program for this. You see here the first 4 lines. These are the namespaces. I have already told you in previous sessions. After that, we have created here namespace constructors. Inside the namespace, we have to create the classes and the methods. And we have created here 2 classes, constructor and the class program. Inside the constructor class, we have created here 2 methods, 2 constructors, default constructor, and another one is a parameterized constructor. And inside the class program, we have created here main method, static void, main method, and program execution start from this method only. So we see the main method. Inside the main method, we have created here object of the constructor class. Constructor load is the object of the constructor class is equal to new, and default constructor. Here when the object is created, the automatically default constructor will be called here. Inside the you see here inside the default constructor, and we are taken here 2 fields, name and this temp. And name is a type of a string and temp is a type of a integer. And inside you see here default constructor. Inside that we have initialized name is equal to Belgaum and temp is equal to 26. After that we have printing the value of name and temp on the console.writeLine 0 address temperature colon in bracket 1, and we are passing here name and temp, and the name value is Belgaum and temp value is 26, and that we are passing here first name. So name will be printed here. Name is Belgaum is printed instead of this 0, and instead of this 1 we are passing here temp. So instead of the 1 here passing the 26, and it prints on the console. It prints Belgaum yesterday's temperature, and here prints the 26 on the console. This is the default constructor. After that, we have created here one more object of the constructor class, constructor load2. Load2 is the object is equal to new constructor Belgaum, and 23 we are passing here arguments. So this is here calling the parameterized constructor and passing value from here only Belgaum, and 23 passing to the parameterized constructor. You see here inside this parameterized constructor, we have taken here num and temp fields, and num is a type of a string and temp is a type of a int, and that Belgaum and 23 will stored here. Belgaum will stored in num and 23 will stored in temp. When the object is created, it stores the value in Belgaum is stored in num and 23 will store in temp. After, inside the parameter as a constructor, name is equal to num, means the num value will be stored in name. The num value is the Belgaum will be stored in name, and temp is equal to temp, and temp value is 23. That 23 will store in this temp. Now name value is Belgaum and temp value is 23. After that we are printing that name and temp value on the console. Console.writeLine 0 today's temperature colon in bracket 1, and we are passing here name and temperature, means the instead of this 0 name value will be printed. The name value is Belgaum, and instead of this 1 the temp value will be printed. The temp value is 23. So on the console, Belgaum today temperature colon 23 will be printed on the console. And after that you have to close all the brackets and save the program. And now we go for execution. For that you have to click on start. You see here console will open. After the clicking on start, you see here output. This is the default constructor Belgaum yesterday temperature 26. After that Belgaum today's temperature 23. This is the execution in Visual Studio. Now we are going to see the execution in developer command prompt. We type the program in notepad and execute on developer command prompt. For that you have to copy this program and open the notepad and paste here and save this program. Go to file, save, go to D drive. In your folder, my folder is C# program. Inside that I have saved that file. Give the file name construct. I give the file name construct.cs and give the file extension .cs for the C# file and click on save. After the file will save, and now we go for execution. For that you have to open the developer command prompt. You see here by default we are in C drive and our file is in D drive in C# folder. For that you have to type here D colon enter cd and give here folder location. For that you have to type here cd, folder name C# program, and enter. Now we are in D drive in our folder. Now we have to compile this program. This file you have to compile. For that you have to type here csc file name construct dot extension .cs. Enter. The file will compile. Now we go for execution. For that you have to type here file name without the extension. You have to type the file name and enter. You see here the output of this program. Belgaum yesterday temperature 26, Belgaum today's temperature 23. This is the execution on the developer command prompt. And now we go for tracing of this program. You see here this is the main coding of the program, and we have created here two classes, constructor and another one is the program. And inside the constructor we have created here two constructor. One is the default constructor and another one is the parameterized constructor. And inside the class program we have created here main method, and program execution start from this method only. So we first see the main method. Inside the main method we have created here object of the constructor class. Constructor load is the object is equal to new constructor. When the object is created, the constructor will call. So we are calling here default constructor. So it calls the default constructor, and you see here inside the default constructor where we have initialized here name is equal to Belgaum and temp is equal to 26. After that we have printing that value name and temp on the console. So you see here console.writeLine 0, yesterday's temperature 1, and we are passing here name and temperature. The name value is Belgaum and temp value is here 26. So we are passing here first name, means that name value will be printed here instead of this 0. Here printing the name value is Belgaum, yesterday's temperature colon 1. So instead of this 1 the temp value will be printed here. The temp value is 26, so 26 will be printed here. That Belgaum will print here instead of this 0, and instead of this 1 the 26 will be printed here. So on the console it prints Belgaum, yesterday's temperature colon 26 will be printed on the console. After that inside the main method we have created here one more object of the constructor class load2 is equal to new constructor in bracket Belgaum and 23 we are passing here, means here parameterized constructor will call because we are passing here value to that parameterized constructor. Here parameterized constructor will call here, and that Belgaum value will be stored in this num, and that 23 value will be stored in this temp. And inside the parameterized constructor name is equal to num, means that num value will be stored in this name and that temp value will be stored in this temp. The name value is Belgaum, so this Belgaum will be stored in this num, and that 23 value will be stored in this temp. After that we are printing that name and temp value on the console. Console.writeLine in bracket 0 today's temperature colon in bracket 1, and we are passing here name and temp value, and instead of this 0 the name value will be printed. The name value is the Belgaum will be printed here, and instead of this 1 we are passing here temp, so temp value is 23. That 23 value will be printed here. So on the console it prints Belgaum today temperature colon 23 will be printed on the console. This is the tracing of this program. I hope you understood. Thank you.